Hi, I'm Joe Ruggiero, and welcome to Homes Across America. You know, in building a house, finding the right site is half the battle. Well, here's a designer who found this out firsthand. He knew the neighborhood he wanted to live in, but couldn't find property to build on until an odd-shaped lot became available. And thanks to his ingenuity, he turned a negative into a positive, creating a stunning showplace. Interior designer James Lumsden knew exactly what he wanted in a house. Plenty of style, preferably Spanish colonial, plenty of sunlight, ample room for entertaining, and a separate area to be used as a home office.
I built the house because I knew I could never find anything that satisfied the kinds of requirements that I had. A conventional house just doesn't work for me. So I built what I needed.
He also wanted his home to be nestled in the hills with a city lights view of Los Angeles. After an exhaustive search, he found a lot that was perfect, but it came with several challenges. It was very narrow and very steep.
The house had to have been built on a series of levels, and that could have been a terrible problem, but as it turned out, it's part of its success.
The exterior of the house is reminiscent of an old Spanish villa, complete with iron window cages, visible beams, and rounded brackets.
One of the things I wanted to accomplish was to present a facade that was Spanish colonial revival, which I think is the appropriate architectural style for California. So the house looks like a 1920s house from the outside. And once you come in through the front door, which I purposefully kept modest, then the house unfolds. And you suddenly look up to a 45-foot high tower, and that gives the wow factor. So you make your way up through a series of steps all the way up to the top, but along the way there's always something to look at.
And along the way is his office.
Down lower in the house is my design library where I work. It has wonderful morning light. And then I make my way up to the top where there's a big open space that is not a conventional living room or dining room or anything of that nature. It's all one big area.
The main sitting area at the top of the stairs features a highly eclectic mix of 18th century European and Latin American pieces. Several items are James's own design.
If I have a design philosophy, it's that I like to use traditional forms in unusual ways. And I think this house does that. Everything here is really a traditional something or other, highly eclectic. The key is to put it together the right way.
Also on this level is the dining room. Here we see evidence of James's risk-taking approach to color. Pink walls are an unexpected choice, but they add whimsy and warmth to the space.
I had samples done of orange, and then I had samples done of red, and then I had samples done of blue. And one day, it wasn't clicking, and one day I said pink. So pink is the answer, and it's that kind of Chinese porcelain pink or a Mexican pink. I love to be in the dining room for a dinner party because the city's glittering, the dining room looks glamorous, but it's also a marvelous place to be on a Sunday morning when the sun is out. It's a terrific place to have a cup of coffee and read the paper.
The open floor plan is as nice for quiet mornings alone as it is for evenings entertaining friends. This is because James has created multiple seating areas throughout the large space.
People tend to come by and have a drink before we go out to dinner. So I made places for people to sit and do that.
The kitchen is also a magnet for friends. James designed the colorful bar stools that pull up to the center island.
I am blessed with friends who do cook, and sometimes they will come and cook here, but I certainly didn't want them sitting out in Siberia, behind a door. So the kitchen is part of the main living space. The bar stools gather up to the center island, and everybody can sit and have a drink and talk to the cook. I eliminated the upper cabinets so that it wasn't a conventional kitchen. It was a kitchen that had all the windows looking out to the view, so it's a very pleasant place to be, whether you're cooking or just perching there.
The clear story above the center staircase lends an open, airy feeling to the entire house. Sun streams in from all directions.
This tower and all of this light goes down the stairwell, so it's never dark down on the lower floors. There are no window treatments, as you can see, and I designed the house so I didn't need them. There's no privacy consideration, and because the floors are tile and the walls are plaster, you don't have to worry too much about fading, so you just let the sun come in, which I love, and so it's always light and bright and wonderful up here.
Off the living room, French doors lead to the back patio. Here we find a charming garden and lap pool, featuring blue and white Portuguese tiles.
I wanted it to be very much a California house, and I wanted it to really express that feeling of indoor and outdoor and color and space and light.
Back inside, the master bedroom suite is just down the hall, but feels like a world apart. The ceiling is lower, the lighting more subdued, and the mood quieter. The bed was also custom designed by James. The master bath is an equally tranquil environment, done in soothing colors and simple patterns. James Lumsden knew exactly what he wanted out of a house, and fortunately for him, he had the talent and patience to achieve it.
Works out beautifully. It does all the things I want it to do. People say, well, what mistakes did you make? And I don't want to sound peculiar, but I don't think I made any.